What's up, everybody? Righteous Gains here, back with another weekly update. Today I'm just gonna always do them in my car, but I'm just gonna sit here, but it's gonna be a bit better of a video. So, weekly update. It's been at least 2 weeks, it may be 3 weeks. I honestly don't remember. The thing is, the last 2 weeks I've been on a vacation. I was visiting family out in Pittsburgh, so I couldn't really film, or I guess I could have, but I feel too uncomfortable filming in someone else's house. And anyway, so update is today I weighed myself and I weighed 201 pounds, 201.6 pounds. Okay, and the fat and muscle percentages were way off from last time I did it, which doesn't make any sense. It says I'm 17% fat and now 39% muscle, which last time I weighed myself I was like, what's my car doing? Last time I weighed myself I was like, 100, I was like 14%, 15%, something like that, according to the scale, and like, 49% muscle. So that stuff on the scale is always somewhat crazy and inaccurate. The main point is I was 201.6 pounds. And last time I weighed myself, I think I was 199. I have to go back and check the video. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So not too bad considering the fact that I was on a 2-week vacation, right? So vacation's usually a week point, and they kind of should be to a point, right? Like, you also need to make sure that we're still having like a good time, right? And so I definitely was having a bit of a good time, But the fact that it wasn't worse is really good. Now that being said, it also might be worse than I think, because I gotta remember I wasn't taking creatine for those 2 weeks, right? Creatine makes you weigh more, makes you retain water in your muscles, and so those 2 weeks of not taking creatine means that my weight went down from creatine, but it went up from everything else I was eating. So once I start taking creatine again, or if, well, let's just say my creatine was, I was still full up on creatine, what would I be at? I might be like, 203, 4, or 5, right? So that would be pretty bad, considering, all things considering. But, we may never know, because I'll start taking creatine, but I'm also starting dieting again today, so we may never know. But that's where I'm at. So yeah, a bit unfortunate. But the main point is I'm going forward here. I'm going to be starting a new plan, or revamping my plan. But I think I might just have to start off again, because I feel like these 2 weeks threw me off the ball so much that there's no point in trying to continue the other plan I had. I think I need to just start fresh. I want to get down to at least 190. I think I need to get down to 185, if I'm going to be honest. So I think that might be my new goal. And I think I'm going to try to diet at least for the next 3 months. And then at that point, that might be a good time to start doing a bulk, because we're going to be entering the winter months, which you don't have to be bulking through the winter months, but I feel like it's a good idea. Well, I don't know if I'd say it's a good idea to bulk through all of winter, but I would say it's good to bulk through the holiday months. So that's what I would say, because that's when you're going to feel the most temptation. You're with family and you kind of want to have a good time, right? So you might as well bulk and say, hey, doesn't mean you can eat anything, but you don't have to restrict as much, is the main point, and feel bad. Anyway, so that's where I'm at, and so yeah, that's what my plans are for the next 3 months-ish. Not much of an update. I don't really have a spiritual thought for you guys. I apologize. My videos, I need to make sure I try to do those more often. But just know that God loves you. And thanks for watching. Yeah, have a great day.